Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we've got some exciting news about Samsung's upcoming Galaxy S26, and more specifically, about the powerful new chip it might use. If you've ever followed Samsung phones before, there's always been a big debate between Exynos and Snapdragon processors. But this time, it looks like Samsung might finally be ready to go all in with its own Exynos chip for its flagship phones. So let's dive into what we know so far about this new chip, the Exynos 2600. According to trusted tipster at Alexa, Samsung is working on this next-generation chip that could be a game-changer. It's expected to be built using 10 nanometers technology. Now, for those who aren't super technical, here's what that means. The smaller the number, the more advanced the chip. And 10 nanometers is a big leap forward from the 4 nanometers chips Samsung is currently using in its latest Galaxy S24 models. So, in theory, this new chip should offer much better performance while using less power. Let's talk numbers. Early testing shows the Exynos 2600 could score around 2,400 in single-core and 9,400 in multi-core on Geekbench. To put that in perspective, that's about 20% better for single-core tasks and 15% better for multi-core compared to the current Exynos 2400 chip in everyday use. This means your phone will open apps faster, multitask more smoothly, and handle heavier tasks, like video editing or gaming, with less lag. Speaking of gaming, the graphics side of things is also getting a major upgrade. The Exynos 2600 is rumored to come with a brand new GPU called the Exynos 960. This is important because a faster GPU means better gaming and video experiences. Leaks suggest that in 3DMARK's Wildlife Extreme test, the GPU scored around 5,800 points, and in GFXBENCH's Aztec Ruins test, it reached up to 85 frames per second. That's very promising for gamers, streamers, and anyone who loves high-quality visuals. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. Samsung is also working on another flagship phone called the Galaxy Z Flip 7, expected to launch very soon. A new report from a Korean website suggests that Samsung might use its Exynos 2500 chip in all models of the Flip 7, regardless of the market. This would be a huge shift because, traditionally, Samsung has used Exynos chips only in certain regions like Korea or India, while markets like the US get Snapdragon chips. If Samsung actually follows through and releases the Z Flip 7 with Exynos in all regions, that would be a big sign of confidence in their own chips. It shows that Samsung wants more control over the hardware and software experience, much like what Apple does with its iPhones. And if that rollout goes well, it opens the door for the Galaxy S26 to also launch globally with the Exynos 2600. But there's one potential issue, and that's chip production. Right now, the production yield for the Exynos 2600 is still low. That means Samsung isn't able to produce a large number of working chips just yet. But they are actively working to solve this problem. If they can ramp up production successfully, the Exynos 2600 could very well power most, if not all, Galaxy S26 units worldwide by early 2026. So what does all this mean? Samsung could be preparing to make a bold move. Instead of using a mix of Exynos and Snapdragon like they've done for years, they might finally go all Exynos for their top devices, including the S26. This would allow them to better control updates, improve performance consistency, and reduce reliance on outside companies like Qualcomm. Of course, Samsung hasn't officially confirmed any of this yet. Everything we know so far is based on leaks and insider reports. But the early benchmark numbers and behind-the-scenes info give us a strong clue about what Samsung is planning. Let's quickly recap. Samsung is developing a powerful new chip called the Exynos 2600. It's built using 10 nanometers technology, which means better speed and battery life. Performance could improve by 20% for single-core and 15% for multi-core tasks. Graphics performance is getting a huge boost with the new Exynos 960 GPU. Samsung might use Exynos chips in all versions of the Z Flip 7, and if successful, the Galaxy S26 could follow the same path. If the chip production improves, we might see a global Exynos S26 in early 2026. What do you think? Would you buy a Galaxy S26 with an Exynos chip if it performs well? Let us know in the comments. Hit that like button and subscribe for more updates. Thanks for watching. See you next time.